Good morning, students. Our session of Financial Management 3. In the previous session, we have discussed about unit number 2. Under that, we have seen the introduction part of chapter number 1, that is sources of finance. Yes. As we all know that the sources are divided into two parts. The first one, that is external source, and second one, that is internal source. Now, as far as our previous session was concerned, we have already discussed about equity shares. Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss about preference shares. Yes, the name itself suggests when the preference is given to the shareholders as compared to the equity, that share will be known as preference shares. Now, in which sense organization is giving the priority, giving preference to the shareholders? First and foremostly, the preference is given to the shareholders on dividend basis. Yes, preference shareholders have first right to get dividend from the organization profit, and if there is a remaining profit, and if the additional profit is left out, then equity shareholders have a right to get the dividend. But it is compulsory for the organization, that is to give preference dividend to their shareholders. So first preference is given to them, it is about dividend, and second preference is given to preference shareholders, that is about getting their capital back. Yes, at the time of liquidation, yes, when the organization is going to close down, when they are going to wind up, so at that time preference shareholders have first right to get their capital back as compared to equity shareholders. So here two main preferences given to this kind of shareholders. So that is known as preference capital or preference share. But it is very difficult to find out these kind of preference shares in Indian capital market. Yes, in Indian market, organization do not prefer preference capital for raising their capital. There are many limitations of the preference shares. So when you are going to analyze our capital market, it is really very difficult to find out preference capital in our capital market. So preference shares are very popular in the foreign country, because apart from the preference, the risk attached in preference share is very much high for the company point of view. So this is really very difficult to raise your capital with the maximum financial burden. So this is the general introductory part of preference shares. Today we are going to discuss in detail about the preference shares. Here the definition is given. Preference shares means such shares which hold the first right to get dividend from the profit, as well as to get the capital back when the company is wound up. You are required to remember this part only. When the question of preference shares arise, you are just required to remember only these points, and out of this point you are able to write up in a detail about the preference share capital. I think it is already there in your 11th 12th, so it is just the repetitions of the same thing. Here some characteristics are there. So one by one we are going to discuss it. Shareholders has the first priority of dividend from the profit. Yes, when organization is paying dividend to debentures. Yes, debentures in debentures it is compulsory to pay interest on debentures. So after paying debenture interest, now the next priority is given to the preference shares. Second point, preference share holders has the priority to get back capital in case of winding up of the company. When the company goes into liquidation with any reason, with financial reason or with the any personal voluntary reason, so at that point of time the preference shareholders has the first right, they have the first priority to get their capital back. Then after, the rate of dividend of preference shares is fixed. Yes, there is no change as far as the rate of dividend is concerned. Whatever the earning capacity of the organization, the dividend remain fixed. Then after, preference shareholders do not have all the rights in the general meeting of the company. Yes, preference shareholders do not share the ownership capital of the company. They are just giving the capital for a particular period of time, and in return they are getting the dividend. So preference shareholders are not the real owner of the organization. So that organization does not give voting right to the preference shareholders. Only the class of people desires of getting fixed income desire to purchase such shares. The investors who are the risk seeker, who do not want to take the nominal risk, so this is the best capital for their investment. Equity share, it is totally risky capital because organization does not offer any dividend, any fixed dividend on equity shares. So now as compared to equity, there is the maximum risk, there is a low risk in a preference share capital. And again, if you are going to compare the return which preference shares holders are getting, they are quite less as compared to equity share, because the proportion of risk in preference share capital is quite less as compared to equity. And the last one, preference share is not ownership security. One of the reason behind this is organization is returning the preference shares after a particular period of time. So it is not the ownership security. Preference shareholders are there in the organization for the limited period of time, whether for the 5 years or 7 years. So they are not sharing anything with the organization, so that it is not the ownership capital. And for that reason, organization does not give any kind of voting rights to the preference shares. I hope it is clear to each and everyone. Then after, the next point, that is characteristic. Yes, there are mainly 5 characteristics of preference share. The first one, that is maturity period. When organization issue preference shares, at that time the maturity period is fixed by the organization, means for how many period they want such capital in their organization. So preference shares has a particular maturity as they are there in the organization for the certain period of time only. And generally preference shares are for the medium term to long term. Organization is not going to raise the preference share for the short period of time, because the cost of capital involved in preference share is very much high if you are getting capital only for the short period of time. So the ideal time period or the maturity period for the preference share, that is 5 to 7 years. So here the maturity is fixed, the time period is fixed, and after the maturity period the organization is giving the preference shares back to the preference share capital. Second one, that is last claims on income. Preference shareholders does not have the first claim on income, because the first claim is going to be generated by the debenture holders. Debentures are the borrowed capital that is raised by the organization. So now as compared to as compared to debentures, preference shareholders gets the last chance on the profit of the organization. Yes, it is compulsory to pay preference dividend to your preference shareholders, but it is not, or the preference shareholders do not get the first chance, or they have no right to claim on the income of organization. First, organization paying interest on debentures, and then after they are paying dividend to their preference shareholders. Then after, control of management. Yes, as far as the preference shares are concerned, preference shareholders do not have any power to control the management, or they do not have any power to control the activities of organization, because they are not sharing the ownership capital of the organization. So there is no control of management by preference shareholders. Their power is very much limited. They have only two rights. First right, that is to get their dividend on time, and second right, that is to get their capital back at the time of maturity or at the time of liquidation. Otherwise, preference shareholders do not share any rights in the organization. Then after, fourth point, varieties of preference shares. Yes, preference shares are of many types. So as per the conveniency of the organization, as per the financial requirement of the company, organization is going to issue the particular type of preference shares. So the choice is there with the organization when they wishes to issue capital for the medium term to long term. Now, as compared to equity there is a no choice is there with the organization, but in preference shares many varieties, many types are available at the time of issue. And fifth point, that is last claim on asset. Yes, at the time of liquidation, they get the last claim on asset after debentures. Yes, because debenture holders, they are the creditors of the organization. So it is a duty of the company, that is to pay their creditors first, and after paying to the creditors, now it is a liability of organization, that is to pay their preference share first, and lastly they are going to pay their equities. So here the sequence is that first they are paying capital to debentures, then after they are paying their capital to preference, and lastly they are paying capitals to equity if the amount remains with the organization. So for that reason, debenture is highly secured and equity is highly risky capital. So it is about the characteristic of preference shares. I hope you all are clear about it. Now the next one, that is types of preferred shares. The first one, that is cumulative preference shares. Now in cumulative preference shares, the amount of dividend is carried forward to next year when the dividend is not paid in the current year, and when the company earns sufficient profit and declare dividend in that year, then it has to distribute the dividend of previous year also on cumulative preference shares. So in a cumulative preference shares, when organization is going to carry forward the current year dividend to the next year due to the financial crisis, and in the next year organization is paying the dividend of the current year and the previous year both. So these types of shares are known as cumulative preference shares. Then after, non-cumulative preference shares. It is totally a reverse of cumulative preference shares. In non-cumulative preference shares, if company fails to pay dividend in a current year, so that dividend is not going to carry forward in the next year. So if there is no profit in the current year, then preference shareholders does not have the right to get dividend in the future year instead of current year. So when the dividend is not going to be carried forward, that preference share is known as non-cumulative preference shares. Then after, third one, participating preference shares. Yes, when the dividend is not only paid at specified rate on participating preference shares, but also it has the right to get more dividend if more dividend is paid on equity shares than whatever is specified. Sometimes it is happened that after paying dividend to the preference shares, the organization has maximum profit for the distribution to their equity shareholders. But if organization is issuing participating preference share, so at that time these shareholders get additional right to get additional dividend, when the equity shareholders get the maximum dividend out of the remaining huge profit of the organization. But this kind of preference shares are very difficult to find out in capital market. No organization will allow to distribute additional dividend to their shareholders. Then after fourth one, that is non-participating preference shares. It is quite reverse to participating preference shares. When the preference shareholders do not get the benefit of getting additional dividend out of the additional profit of the organization, so that will be known as non-participating preference shares. Then after the fifth point, that is redeemable preference shares. When the organization is going to repay the preference capital on a specific period of time, so these shares will be known as redeemable preference shares. In a nutshell, we can say that the capital of such share is repaid on a fixed period of time. Now, at the time of issuing the redeemable preference share, a company makes it clear that after a certain time limit, the company will repay the capital. The returning capital is possible only in the the returning capital is possible in the exceptional cases after following the provisions of the Companies Act. So it is very difficult to issue redeemable preference shares, because when the organization is going to issue this kind of shares, first and foremostly they are going to show the financial requirement to SEBI, to the Security Exchange Board of India, and after showing the financial requirement, here organization is going to follow the rules and regulations of Companies Act, and if they are in the position to follow the rules and regulation in a proper manner, then and then SEBI will allow the particular company to issue these kind of redeemable preference shares. Then after irredeemable preference shares. Now, the irredeemable preference shares are those shares which capital is not going to be returned in the lifetime of the organization. So, organization is not going to return the capital of irredeemable preference shares. When the company goes into liquidation, or when the company is going to be wind up, so at that time these irredeemable preference shares gets their capital back. Then after convertible preference shares. Yes, the name itself suggests, at the time of issuing these kind of convertible preference shares, company gives option to the shareholders, that is to convert it in the ordinary shares, that is equity shares, after a specific period of time. So these kind of preference shares will be known as convertible preference shares. And generally the convertible preference shares are converted into equities only within a specific period of time. Then after, non-convertible preference shares. Yes, totally opposite to convertible. The preference shares which are not converted into equity shares. So these shares are known as non-convertible equity shares. Now these types of preference shares are very much important as far as your examination is concerned. If suppose the question is there in 14 marks that you are supposed to write down the concept of preference shares along with its types. So you are required to remember each and every types of preference shares in a proper manner. I hope you all are clear about the different types of preference shares. Yes. Then after, the next point, that is advantages of preference shares. The first one, that is convertible. Yes, in preference shares, organization gets the benefit of conversion of their preference shares into equity capital. If organization choose convertible preference shares at the time of issue of the preference shares, then they gets the benefit of conversion of their preference into equities. And when the preference shares are converted into equity shares, the financial burden of the organization will reduce. Second one, that is redeemable preference shares. When the organization is not able to pay dividend in a current year, then the redeemable preference shareholders gets the right to get their dividend in the next year. So it is only possible if the company issues these kind of preference shares. Then after, third one, fixed dividend. In preference share, company offers a fixed dividend to their shareholders. Whatever the earning of the company is, whether they are earning high, whether they are earning low, now it is compulsory to pay a particular dividend to the preference shareholders. So shareholders gets the benefit of fixed dividend. Then after, fourth one, that is cumulative dividend. Yes, there is one mistake in redeemable. I explain about the concept of cumulative dividend, but again it is fine. First I will explain redeemable, then after we will explain cumulative. Yes, in redeemable preference share, the capital of such preference shares is repaid on a fixed period of time. So after the completion of the maturity period, preference shareholders gets their capital back. And in cumulative dividend, if company fails to pay dividend in a current year, then that dividend is going to be carried forward to the next year. Fifth one, that is participation or participating preference shares. Yes, it is one of the major advantages to the shareholders side, because when the company earning very huge, or when they are earning maximum to maximum, so at that point of time preference shareholders get chance of having the maximum dividend, or by getting the maximum dividend if company issues such kind of preference shares. Now there are few limitations of preference shares. The first one, that is heavy taxation policy. Yes, the preference dividend is non-taxable. So organization does not get any benefits by paying preference dividend to their preference shareholders. So here company pays tax on the dividend of preference shares. So that will create a heavy taxation policy as the financial burden of the organization. So these limitations is for the organization. Second one, only fixed dividend. Yes, this is the limitations for the preference shareholders, that whatever the earning capacity of the company, the shareholders gets the fixed dividend. There is no change in the rate of dividend when the organization is earning high or whether they are earning low. Then after third one, higher cost of capital. Yes, the issue cost of preference shares is quite high as compared to debentures. So the cost of capital is very much high as compared to debentures. Then after fourth point, financial burden. Definitely preference shares create financial burdens to the organization, because here it is compulsory to pay dividend to the preference shareholders whether or whatever the earning capacity of the organization. And if the company issues cumulative preference shares, then it is really become difficult to pay dividend in the current year and also of the previous year. Then after fifth point, this is the limitations from the shareholder side, that is no voting rights. Preference shareholders do not get any right as far as the management of the company is concerned. So they have no voice in the company, or in a nutshell we can say that organization does not allow preference shareholders to vote in their management team. So that's all about the preference shares. So now in our today's session we learn about the introduction part of preference shares. Then after we have seen the characteristic. Then after the types of preference shares. Then after advantages of preference shares. And last one, that is limitations or disadvantages of preference shares. I hope you all are clear about preference shares. So here we are ending our session. I hope till now you are clear about each and every point and each and every concepts of our new unit, that is unit number 2, chapter number 1, sources of finance. Again, I am requesting all of you, that is to prepare a quick note for our new unit. Thank you.